Hey everyone, my name is Gerard Braud and my message today is, hey, HSE, please pick me. I'd like to be considered for your crisis communication strategist and the guy who helped you write a crisis communications plan and the guy who trains your spokespeople. Now, I'm going to show you a video that should change the way you think about crisis communications. I used to be a TV reporter. Now, for perspective, I grew up on the fence line of a chemical plant, Monsanto Chemical in Luling, Louisiana. My dad worked there for 30 years. I put myself through college working there. I understand industry. Then I became a reporter covering environmental issues. And one day there was an explosion at a chemical plant. And the spokesperson wouldn't come out to talk to me. So I interviewed Bubba. This is what Bubba said.
What did you see? Well, it blown up real good. Has this happened before? It blows up all the time.
Now, know what I did? I put that guy on TV. Yeah, I put Bubba on TV. Why would I do something like that? Well, the reality is a chemical plant in Baton Rouge exploded at 9 in the morning. I drove out there with my photographer. It took us about an hour to get there and get set up. And by 10 o'clock, we were doing a live report. But no one from the company came out. We called and no one from the company came out. 11 o'clock rolls around, 2 hours into the event, no spokesperson. I did another live shot. I'm speculating. You don't want a reporter to speculate. But that's what I was doing based on what I knew about what they made and based on my experience growing up next to a chemical plant and working in a chemical plant. When it came time for the new news, my boss said, bro, get out, knock on some doors and interview people. That's when I knocked on the trailer and interviewed Bubba. Now, I don't want you to think that I'm making fun of Bubba. I'm actually mocking the spokesperson because the spokesperson finally came out from the company after Bubba was on the air. He came barreling down a gravel road. There was a veil of dust coming up from the road. He hit his brakes and he started to slide into my photographer's tripod. He covered us with dust and he jumped out of the car cursing. And one of the first things he said is, Gerard Braud, why do you interview people who have no teeth, who live in trailers? My answer is, well, the guy I interviewed came out to talk to me when you wouldn't. Now, it was inappropriate for him to refer to that guy that way, but years later, I wrote a book called Don't Talk to the Media Until, and chapter 11 is called, Why Do They Interview People Who Live in Trailers, Who Have No Teeth? With all due respect to trailer dwellers. See, it's the spokesperson that we're making fun of because the spokesperson had ample opportunity. By not giving us an interview, that company made Bubba their de facto spokesperson. That is foolish. But let's advance 20 years to the age of social media and to Twitter. If you don't use Twitter and if you don't understand Twitter, you need to sign up just to understand the nuance, because Twitter tells the story in a second. So here's an explosion in California from a few years ago. Natural gas explosion. Somebody with a backhoe didn't call 811. They weren't safe, and it blowed up real good. And then this gentleman, a guy named Robert, whose Twitter handle is Shroomy0021, captured video of it, and he immediately sent it to ABC 30. Yeah, within seconds. So reporters like me didn't even have to drive out for the explosion because the eyewitnesses are posting it to social media. Now watch what happens to Robert. Univision asked if they can use the video. And then the Fresno Bee wants to use the video, and he says yes. And then down here, NBC News wants to use the video, and he says, sure, go ahead. And then this guy up here at the top, Bo, is from Storyful. Storyful syndicates viral videos to all of the media. Robert gave him permission and signed a release. Then CBS News wanted to use it, and NBC4 in Los Angeles wanted to use it. All of these network and local stations and newspapers were telling the story not by calling the company, but by tweeting to an eyewitness who posted it. Look at this explosion. This one was horrible. Construction was going on at this chemical plant in Geismar, Louisiana. Created this fireball. Sadly, 2 people died, 114 injured. And you see all the people running? Not everybody's running because one person stopped and pulled out their cell phone to capture the image. And quite honestly, it surprises me that it wasn't a selfie, because that's the kind of stuff that happens these days. The person who had that video immediately built a Facebook page with 4,241 people. See that right down there by that thumb? That many people are getting their news from this Facebook page created by one of the workers rather than the company, because the company didn't send out a spokesperson. They weren't prepared. They posted a notice to a website about 3 hours and 30 minutes into the event. That's too long. They were letting state police be their spokesperson. I don't go for that, because there's death and injury, and only a company spokesperson can convey empathy. So here's what I want to do for you. I have a ready-to-go, easy, fast, affordable, 5-step program that will get you effective crisis communications. You'll be communicating in minutes. Step 1 is a vulnerability assessment that assesses what the media would be thinking about, not just your incident command assessment or your business continuity and risk management assessment. This one's slightly different, but I can get it done with some pre-work, and in 2 hours we can talk about the list, because I've already prepared the list for you. I pretty much know what you need to be ready for. Once we finalize that list, in 5 hours, we can read, edit, and customize a crisis communications plan for you. And this plan is specifically designed for industry. It is so simple that anyone who can read and follow directions can execute it. Now, I've written some big plans for the Internal Revenue Service, the U.S. Army Missile Defense Command, the Library of Congress. Many of them use the roots that are the heart of the plan that you're using. But a key element of this plan happened in 1996 when I wrote my very first plan. It was for a chemical company. And the plant manager said, please write something that my engineers can't screw up. Sorry, engineers, it's his words, not mine, but he knew that analytical individuals can suffer from decision paralysis and paralysis by analysis. So this plan moves quickly. All you have to do is follow the directions. It's going to help you gather information, confirm information, and disseminate the information. The way we disseminate that information is in the 3rd step, which is when I give you a library of 100 pre-written news releases. I've already anticipated the multiple choice and fill in the blank options that you need to convey to your audience. This can be emailed to media, published to your website. It can be read to the media on site as a news conference. It can be emailed to all of your employees and all of your customers, so everyone knows exactly what's going on. And I will help you write some additional news releases if you need more than my basic 100. The next thing I can offer you, whether you do the first 3 or not, is to train your spokespeople. But if you have those pre-written news releases, this media training is going to be so much more effective, because news conferences go bad when people ad lib. But when I can give you those 100 news releases and train your spokespeople to edit them, usually in just 10 minutes, and then to read them to the media, or even read it on YouTube or offer it up through Zoom, which is what I'm using right here. You can control the narrative of the story and protect the organization's reputation and revenue. The 5th step of what I offer is a crisis communications drill. Many of you are already doing emergency drills, but what I'd like to see you do is add elements where mock media come in and create some chaos, where mock social media post or create it, creating some chaos, and allow your spokespeople to both practice the incident command as well as practice talking to the media. So all of those are available for you. And all you have to do is pick up the phone and call me at 985-624-9976. If I'm not there, you will get my cell phone number. You can text me at that cell phone number. There's a good chance that I might be training someone else, but I will get back to you as quickly as possible during a break, or I might be actually helping them manage a crisis. But I promise I will get back to you in a timely fashion. Because ultimately, I know that most of you in HSE are wearing too many hats, and you're asked to have communications, but you're seldom given the tools and the time to make it work. Sometimes you don't have the budget. And because I know all of this, because I've been a journalist, because I've worked in industry, because I've lived next to industry, because I've been doing crisis communication since 1994 and writing plans since 1996, I think I have a turnkey package that will work beautifully for you. So I'm simply going to ask, HSE, please pick me. This is Gerard Braud. I hope I get to talk to you soon.